episode, Harold gives a drive-by science lesson, Bill has a cold can of pop, and I turn a car into a bicycle.
Here's the man I call uncle, my uncle, husband to the woman I call aunt, and favorite and only brother to the man I call dad. Here he is, Fred Green!
Thank you, and welcome all of you to the show. How are you today, Harold?
Ever excellent, as always.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't get sick, do you, Harold? You're more of a carrier.
I'm not just a carrier, I'm a laser transporter.
Well, we've been having a bit of fun this week up at the lodge. The guys were looking at some of that bungee jumping, you know, where they tie a big jock strap on your ankle and heave you off a bridge, you know. And then the blood all rushes to your head and you damn near kill yourself and makes you feel young again, apparently.
You know, actually, that bungee jumping is not safe and it's been banned in a lot of areas. Cement areas, I think.
Well, of course, we can't afford the real official bungee jumping gear or anything, but Junior Sinkman got the idea that if you climb to the top of a real springy tree, like, you know, a willow or something, you know, and you say you tie your foot off to the top branch and you just dive, it's got to be the same effect, really, you know.
Yeah, you got to be a pretty good idiot to do that.
Well, thanks for volunteering, Harold. But we got a whole lineup of guys ahead of you. In fact, they're waiting for this rope, so maybe we should get on with the show.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure, excellent. Because we have a superiorly excellent show for you this evening.
Pretty much the same as all the others, as far as I know.
He has no understanding of the television business.
Obviously. I often look back as I get older at the fun we had with Murphy's Boulder. It was 6 feet across, must have weighed 9 tons, round and smooth as a baby's bun. We'd leave messages on it and lean against it. It was like a friend who was solid and true. Then after dark, we roll it into the lake and watch boats smack into it really, really hard. Oh, that's good enough. This week on Handyman Corner, we're going to show you something that you can do with that old wreck of a car that you may have sitting out on your front lawn, say, or perhaps wedged into the garden shed. Now, up here at the lodge, of course, when a car gets too dangerous to drive, we just sell it to another member. But what do you do when a car literally falls to pieces? Sell it as a kit car? Now, a lot of people would see this big pile of crap and figure, well, this is no longer a viable means of transportation. But a lot of people are not me. I look at this stuff. And I say, with a little elbow grease and some imagination, I can build myself a free 10-speed bicycle. Golly, if the motor hadn't seized up, I could build a moped. All right, the first thing you need to make yourself a two-wheel bicycle, of course, is 2 wheels. I got 4 to choose from, so I threw the 2 ugly ones away, and I got Harold's toothbrush and cleaned all the roadkill out of the treads of these. But, you want to make sure that there's no leaks in these things, so what you do is you take the tire and just stick her down into a bucket of water and watch for the bubbles coming to the surface, sort of like Old Man Sedgwick in Possum Lake. And just put that down there easy as pie. Oh, it's a little small for that. All right, well, we'll assume there's no leaks there. Now, I'm going to need to make a frame for the bicycle. My golly, this will work right here. The exhaust system out of the unit. That should be fine. Oh, no wonder gas stations are so messy. All right, take a hacksaw, and you want to start hacking this thing up. You'll need 3 2-foot lengths and 2 3-foot lengths. So that's 3 2s and 2 3s, which is a full house, I believe. Golly. Boy, hacksaws are fragile things, aren't they? All right, so once you got your pipe cut, you got enough pieces now to start building your frame. You know, you might just want to file those edges a little smoother, especially if you ride a bike in shorts. Now, to put all the pieces together, you can use stove bolts, or you could use a welding torch, or you could use, that's right, the handyman's secret weapon, duct tape. Another roll there, Harold. And there you have it. And if that isn't a real head turner of a bicycle frame, I don't know what is. Now, this muffler is a dandy place to hold water for you long distance riders who can't hold your water. And you're probably thinking to yourself, what am I going to use for pedals? Here we go. How about window winders? And then for a chain, now, not much of it. Oh, here we go. Here we are. We'll just run a fan belt from the pulley up to another pulley, and there we go there. And as far as the gears go and whatever, cars are full of gears. Gears everywhere in a car. That's not going to be a problem. You see, the secret is to make do with what you have. This is not just recycling, it's bicycling. So I'll get this all rigged together, but it's going to take a little while. And why don't you go back to the show, and when I got her all done, I'll have you come back in here and I guess do a little showing off.
And now it's that part of the show where we expose the 3 little words that men find so hard to say. I don't know. And here now is the expert, my Uncle Red, and of course, his good friend, Mr. Hap Shaughnessy, local fisherman and raconteur. Alrighty. Dear experts, there's a guy at work that drives us all crazy. Whenever he tells you something, it's so full of lies and exaggerations that you can't believe any of it. What's with this guy?
Well, Hap, this sounds like it's more in your area.
Well, it's a self-confidence problem, isn't it? People who stretch the truth, generally trying to make themselves more important than they really are, just to make up for their poor self-image.
That's very insightful.
Yeah, that's what Sigmund Freud told me. What's the very worst bragger and boaster that I ever met was on one of our climbs up Everest. We had 7 attempts. All of them were successful. But you should have heard this guy and the stories that came out of his mouth. Space expedition, running the 2-minute mile, playing billiards with the Pope. I happen to know the Pope only plays stripes and solids. But this guy got to me so much, I had to leave the tent. I had to get out of there and sleep on the glacier. Better to risk another encounter with the abominable snowman than spend any more time with this man.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from there, Hap.
But of course, I didn't expect the avalanche. 350,000 tons of snow cleaved off that mountain and landed right on my knee. The bad knee. Well, I wanted to scream, but some of the crew was still sleeping, so I quietly just tried to dig myself out of bed. And after a few hours, I came upon this guy, this same guy, lying there unconscious, his head stuck in an ice crevice, and I had a 7-pound pick with me, and I could have chipped him out. But I couldn't guarantee he'd still have ears.
Right now, I would envy someone without ears.
Yeah. So, I tried this little trick that I learned during the war from de Gaulle. I melted the guy out of there. With a pot of hot coffee and a turkey baster.